Okay, we're going to start. Today we're going to talk about the ROI200, which is our in-stock task chair. We buy these by the carton. There's 390 chairs to a carton, and we sell it for $220. This is Jerry Bertolini. He's the chair guy. So today's class we're going to do an assembly of a chair. Then after it's assembled, Jerry's going to go through all the functions of the chair. Then after that, Jerry's going to discuss the warranty. And then at the very end, we're going to change a cylinder so everybody can see what that is like being done in the field. Okay? Jerry?
Sounds like fun.
It's your show.
I hope everybody has a lot of sugar in them because I want people to come up and help me with this because it's really hard to put these together. First thing that's going to happen with the chair when you guys are putting it together, or a customer of any of the Eurotech chairs, they're not going to need any tools. It's nice to have a drill to put something together, but all the tools will be in the package. I haven't really put together the ROI200 before, but getting started, I was asked, do I know how to open up a box? These tabs on the back, if anybody's familiar with them, you really don't have to cut them. You reverse the tab, pull it, and it comes, even though it's that strong that you can carry the box. So the same thing. Anybody know that?
I did.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That's my helper?
Yeah,
Oh.
for it.
Is he union?
Do not say that naughty word.
All right, everything's individually wrapped as far as my norm is taking the casters out of the bag right away and putting them into the base. The base itself, if you look on this base, Riki has literally no failure on this base because of the construction of it. And you can tell just by the sheer weight of it. Hey, sir, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My assistant, Jorge. Take care of that for me, please. Thank you. It's very simple, plug and play, so he's just snapping them right in. What's also nice about this chair is everything on the bottom of it, the mesh is all put on it already, so you don't have that. And when you're dealing with Eurotech, you'll be able to tell if you get down below a certain price point, the chair is going to come more KD. This product is literally ready to go. The only thing that you're going to need is 2 Allen wrenches and 2 screws to put it together. I like to have a nice little base to put it on so we can get the arms on very easily. You gotta really This is the back plate for it that needs the 2 screws. In that kit is the 2 Allens. There's 2 washers for the armrests, so when it's going in. So he'll have, first goes on the lock washer, then the larger washer, and the arms will just slide right into here and tighten up. So that's it, no tools needed for that. The back itself has a ratchet back. So that's the reason for a separate plate going into this back. It just ships a lot easier. It's tagged outward. This is the ratchet portion of it, the little tab that's on here. Okay. Then you'd be surprised how many people don't even know that their chair ratchets it. got it? This one? I gotta put my glasses on, make sure you put the washers on right. No, you don't.
The other way.
All right, it's back washer on first, then the washer. And I'll show you what I run into a problem. You know, I visit a lot of your customers, and it's really surprising that people can't reach underneath their chair and tighten up a knob for their arm. The arms are just wobbling on. And then once a knob falls off the cleaning, people come by and throw it out, and it's gone, and we're replacing it.
So if the arm is loose, it's typically just tightening up the knob below.
Flip it.
Could I see which one is the lock washer? 'Cause I don't know the difference between the two washers, just so I know.
Back washer has a split in it, so once it hits the bottom, it's gonna lock in place.
Okay.
It's funny because I was working with
And you said that one goes first or second?
first on here.
Okay.
And it's on the instructions, because that's actually gonna be what locks down onto the metal. I was working with a young man just this last week at Neocon show, and he told me we had a problem with one of the chairs. And I asked him what, and he said the washer had a crack in it. I'm like, okay, so I had to actually explain to him what that washer did. So that's it. The next thing that I do, because this is an easy slide in, is the cylinder. Everything is just plug and play. There's no tools needed for this. It's all, once you sit in the chair, it seats it. I like to just do that. It's just easier on my old back. Sir? That's right. So this is new for me. Those two. Now, the other thing that normally when I go to one of your customers and they're a big user of this chair is I carry around this with me. And what he's tightening up right now is I basically walk around tightening up chairs as I'm going through the place along with demo. You can see how the chair is set up right now, and I'll get into that a little bit more. The next thing is just a visual cap to clean up what the back looks like. That snaps on, and then there's a couple Phillips screws that goes right into the plastic, so that we need the back. We're good to go. The chair is ready. So you think. This is how your customer normally is going to get the chair. They're not going to be very happy with it when they first sit in it because it's going to be uncomfortable. I try to get the guys in your back room to actually sit in the chair and get it set up so that it's easier. It's set right now that the tension, we're always worried that the biggest guy in the room is going to hurry up and hop in this chair, and if the tension's too loose, whoosh, flip back. So the chair is always leaning forward, and once it's locked, to get the tension, it's very tight to get it back. So it's forward, which is one of the functions that's down here. I'll grab another chair, flip it over, so he's got that. Just so that you can see it easier. On the bottom, you can see how well built the chair is just by the mechanism itself. I always sell from the bottom up on a chair when I'm selling it to the user, is that just look at this base the sturdiness of it, the grooves in it. It's a great base. We're using the top cylinder. We're rated for 250 pounds. We are being tested for 300 right now, so we're going to try to get that all taken care of within this year. The mech is heavy duty. You have your tension here to loosen up the tension. There's a gazillion people out there that don't know that. You have a negative tilt lockout here. Your height, adjusting for the arms, seat tilt and back tilt, and ratchet. It's a molded foam, and if you feel the plywood, it's a very thick plywood. So this is metal to metal that's going into here, so really you have to be very abusive to get that to rip out of the plywood.
Do the arms adjust height and width?
Height and width. Width is only a couple inches. Height is not there. So this I will leave like this so that you can see. So this is how your customer is going to get the chair. And then
How do you adjust the width?
it's just the handle that's... So it's only a couple inches.
Okay, so it's either one or the other.
Okay, so I am normally going to get the call that this chair is very uncomfortable. So normally what I'm going to do, as soon as I get in to the user, I'm going to loosen up this, especially if it's a smaller person, because it's just way too hard. I'm going to take it back past 90, and this is the paddle, flip it forward, and then it'll stay at a 90. The reason for the negative tilt is literally people that are doing a lot of keying and want to sit forward, they'll take it forward, and because you can lock the seat tilt wherever you want, they'll take it up a little bit forward and then lock it, their back, bring their back up, and they'll do their keying. Because you've got to remember, a lot of the people that you're selling these chairs to are just sitting at a computer all day long, typing, and the more they change, the better. So that's the reason for the negative tilt. I wish some of the chairs that they wouldn't have it on. It would save me a lot of trips. So then your height. Again, this is the tilt here. So you can go back into tilt, lock it wherever you want, back, and then your ratchet. And ratchet goes up on 1/4 inch increments till it gets to the top, and it starts over again. All right, ROI 200.
Can you do the whole demo again?
Can I do it again? You want it.
Can you explain the warranty?
Okay, warranty. You have one of the strongest warranties in the industry. What is printed up in our pricer that you use, the Eurotech catalog, really, you've never heard Eurotech say you can't have a part. None of you know that the cylinder is only a 5-year warranty. They replace it. They do not care. We've recently sent in at no charge parts, arm pads, cylinders and casters, so that you have the regular stuff that's going to go bad. So that's in the back. Caesar has it. When somebody needs it, you can get it out to them right away. If they're out in my neck of the woods, I'm running it out there, or somebody in my office is running it out. So it's a lifetime warranty on your parts. 5-year on cylinder. Foam and fabric is 5 years also, which the norm in the industry is 2 years. So you have a nice strong on foam and fabric also. Arm pads, if it was a regular customer and they were paying for the arm pads, it would be about $12 to $15 per set. And I've replaced a lot of arm pads where people say they're failing, and one of Ginny's customers, for example, Ergo Humans, I walked in and they said, well, his arm pads are defective. He had a pen sticking out of the top of it. So, it's trying to think of the name of it. They were in Rolling Meadows, then they moved to Schaumburg. But, that's why it's not warranted. People jam them underneath a work surface and beat them up, so that's the only reason.
And if you guys, we did give you all a cut sheet of the warranty to keep in your booklet, so you guys have a copy to reference too. And then all of these, the arm pads The casters and the cylinder are currently now, we stock them at ROI. So if you do run into arm pads or casters that break, then we can get those out quickly. Or we could, like a caster, you could probably even ship directly or send out from here to the client. Because those just pop right off, right?
Correct. You saw that they pop in. There's no tools. After we assembled the chair, that was it, as far as putting it together. Again, if you want to be helpful with your customers, dragging around this crazy thing, Allen, the size that fits into this back here, on the bottom of all your chairs, it does say to tighten up the screws every 6 months. So let me just try. Our good old number one selling chair. This is in your showroom. I didn't set this up either. This used to be our number one 4x4, the mule of chairs. Okay, so this is in your showroom right now. And we had a little bit of a thing in the beginning where, and this is one of them, but we did get it straightened out where the washers were put on backwards so it wasn't locking all the way. But again, this is in your showroom, and I could walk around here and tighten up a whole bunch of them. And then am I going to actually pull apart a chair too? Change a cylinder?
You're going to change the cylinder next.
Okay.
So was the washer on room?
That I can tell you, this chair is old, so I know who it was. Oh, I did S&S Sports Team Wear, whatever that company is. I tightened up 100 and something of those things.
Jerry, so a chair like that is not like a car. It's like a car where you have to change the oil every now and again.
Right.
What would you suggest we tell our clients every 6 months or a year that they need to do to make sure the chair's going to perform as it's supposed to, other than...
Well, your last two customers that you were doing the ROI200 to, I would have probably gone into them and said, listen, here's what we're going to do. You order 10 or 12 extra chairs to have ready, or we'll keep them for you. And then after a year or 2 years, we'll take 10 chairs at a time, change them out, clean them, because let's be real, people are sitting in these chairs for how long? You clean your carpet at home, you clean, your upholstered goods at home. Why wouldn't you clean a chair that you're sitting in 8 hours every few years? And so we have a couple customers set on that. That's a service that you do here. Bring the chairs back. And then at that time, if there's anything wrong with it parts-wise, then I'm able to order the parts for you guys. And it works out really nice. So your big users that are using the Eurotech chair, that's a nice program for them. But yeah, they should be told, even, here's an Allen wrench, every once in a while you do have to tighten them up. Because that's the biggest problem, is just tightening up the chairs. I'm getting too loose. Okay, I'm going to tear apart a chair too.
Oh, you're just going to replace this all.
Okay.
You want to do this one here?
Is that an ROI200?
Can you do me,
Your cylinders are going to be
yeah,
on that
can you
chair.
do me a big favor? There's a garbage can by the copper, white, square. That's right.
What is that chair the guys brought to fit the cylinder with?
We're going to use the ROI200.
Are you going to use that one? Or do you want me to do the 4x4?
4x4 is
Well,
4x4?
as long as the same cylinders work, is that what it is? These are the cylinders,
Yeah.
You'll see in your notebook, we have a note about changing cylinders, how we'll go to the job site one day, pick up the chair, and we'll take it back the next day with the cylinder replaced. So we'll kind of show you here today why we do that.
Instead of doing it in front of the customer.
Yeah.
I'd much rather drag it out to my car and do it than let them actually see what I'm doing to it.
replacing the cylinder can be very hard if the cylinder is dry and tight. One thing that our guys care is a little bit of W240 to loosen up a little bit at times. So it's just a tip.
And it can get, my understanding is, correct me if the more like heavier weight that's being put onto the chair causes the cylinder to really.
It sinks deeper and it gets difficult to replace it.
That actually depends on the chair also. Again, when you get into the lower priced chairs, the Newports and the MTs there, that's a totally different mechanism. That's just a rolled steel, where when you look at the mech that you're selling now, there's actually a sleeve welded in there. So it actually gives you an extra inch of support on that cylinder. So you won't have that where the cylinder slides up a little bit more and activates it. Okay, so the norm. I show up to a customer all dressed up real nice. I take their chair, I extend this thing. I walk in with this thing. Downtown Chicago, they're starting to question me a lot more now. So now I'm actually wrapping it up in a towel, so now it looks like a gun. Thanks for sending me downtown. Okay, so normally if it's an older chair and I don't care about it, I will grip it anywhere on the cylinder because I really don't care. And I don't care what I do to the chair anyways because I'm the rep and I'll replace whatever on it, so it doesn't matter. But my norm is to go as close to the top of the cylinder because if you damage it a little bit, it's not going to affect the flow of the cylinder.
Well, you're damaging it, you're taking it off the top.
Then on the bottom, this base is a little bit different than your 200 because this actually has a metal base with the plastic cap on it on the. That's why I take it out to the car. These are going to pop back in, so that's not a problem. And you're good to go. The reason that I put it on the garbage can is so that you're not damaging the plastic top. I actually did a job in Aurora yesterday for a JSI chair where, and it was a wood base, and it didn't damage it.
So what percentage you think the chairs get damaged, Jerry, doing it?
What?
What percentage do you think, on average, the chairs get damaged changing the cylinder?
Changing the cylinder? Not too often. I think it depends on the age of it. And it's pretty funny because, I've been doing this for so long because I've been the Kramer rep for many years, which is the real heavy duty seating. And so I'm doing a lot of healthcare facilities and labs, and that takes a little bit more for changing out. I think it was a Kramer chair. So that's the reason for the pipe wrench. When I was young, the pipe wrench used to only be about 12 inches. Now it's 18, soon to be 24. As I get older, I need more leverage. Good to go.
Beautiful.
It's about a 3-4 minute job.
I just want to finish up with the amazing Laura. She revamped our ROI200 cut sheet. So it is now saved in the new chair catalog. The old one is gone. You can see it's a dramatic improvement from the previous one, so it's beautiful. We're still tweaking a couple things. We're going to get a high-res photo for the front and kind of tweak that up, but this is the start, so you can start emailing these out to your clients. $220 for the chair, $15 to assemble, $10 drop fee. Just a little reminder. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That's it? Okay.